next game.
All right.
Let's go right into it. Another match for the fine folks at home. Critter versus FXDFW Sethlon, a battle of swordsmen.
Yeah, I've seen Critter play a lot.
And I've seen I'm sorry, not SS Guy, but Sethlon kind of lingering in the background here. Good to see him actually up front and personal.
I remember Sethlon's match against Lopak, I think 2 weeks ago. Oh, it was bad. It was. Oh, his edge guarding techniques with Roy are amazing.
He's so good. He loves Smash 4 Roy because it's how he likes to play the game. He likes to kind of poke and prod, force you kind of closer and closer toward those edges, and then really punish you for being there
And
when you have no escape.
I think when it comes to that, it's all about what's safer on shield and what's not. I know from experience that when it's what's safe on shield can lead to your win or your loss. So yeah. I mained Ike for a few weeks, and it looks like everybody's got the same base technique down, where it's down tilt to forward air and forward air. But it looks like it's being countered evenly by Critter. Or by Sethlon, sorry.
Yeah, and on top of that, grabs from Ike can mean some nice follow-ups afterwards as well. So sure to be on the lookout for that as well. But the way that Sethlon is playing might make it a little bit difficult. As you can see, he's using a lot of very quick options, not really super committal options that allow you to punish very quickly.
Yeah, and while we've got Roy's is obviously faster, but I think Ike is more powerful. And see, just like that.
Yeah, that forward air was
It
nearly
won't
enough.
kill, but I think we can see it kill sooner because of the fact that Critter has a lot of matchup experience, probably against swordsmen, knowing.
That's what happens when you overcommit against Sethlon. Critter was so desperate to get that kill, and he went for the hard read, I think expecting Sethlon to maybe go for a shield grab, and a punish from Sethlon with the patience.
And I feel like Ike is more about reading. If you want to throw out a smash attack, make sure you can hit it, because if you miss, that could be game, especially with Ike, because knowing Ike's suicide up B.
Wow.
Wow.
What an unorthodox option to punish that non-sweet spot recovery. Nice from Sethlon.
And there it is.
Yeah,
so I think in this case, I don't think Critter is adapting to Roy's speed and precision. And so he's underestimating it a bit, using things that would probably work on other characters, but not as much Roy, because Roy, while he is kind of a little bit slow, he's faster than you would think. So I think Critter is really underestimating that.
So then what does he need to do to get back into this game? I mean, he's down by so much.
He needs to read. He needs to hit those reads. He needs to bait out some good moves on Sethlon's part. Sethlon will think he's getting it, but Critter will be right there with the read.
Right.
That's especially what you want to do with Ike. Ike is read central. Because of the amount, if you can get a good read off, well, see right there.
But you see, like, it wasn't even a read.
Yeah.
All Sethlon does is that he waits. He is so
very patient.
And
you know, I think that's a reflection of Roy in general. Roy is super patient. He's a super patient character. It's all about, getting in there, getting a few hits, and coming back. Almost equivalent to Little Mac, but Little Mac's a little bit different, seeing that he can be either aggressive or campy, where Roy, you want to be more campy instead of aggressive, because Roy has not the best recovery. I think we've all known from there.
Yeah, but I mean, even still, like, if anyone's supposed to fit that, I guess that the archetype of being more on the patient side, I feel like it's Ike.
Yeah.
Ike, he doesn't have really any very quick options, right?
Yeah.
Aside from the bear.
Yeah, the back areas.
Yeah, but Roy, on the other hand, possesses a plethora of very fast aerials that Sethlon can use. And you're already seeing a little bit of that right now. Those nairs. That's why Sethlon is comfortable being the aggressor here in the early game, right? He's using those nairs, trying to push Critter towards the corner. Because if he can get Critter in the corner, that's when he's going to win. Critter, as a character like Ike, doesn't necessarily have the best options of getting out of there. I mean, so he can do maybe like a raw back air, but with what stage? With what stage?
Yeah. And now I think Critter's actually starting to warm up to his Roy, by saying that he's waiting more patiently. He's been on this side of the entire stage most of the game, see? And it's all about patience with him. And I feel like at MLG, or not MLG, sorry, EVO, there were some great Ike players. And I think Ike is really underestimated in the fact that most people want to play aggressive. And Smash 4, you can either play aggressive or patiently. And usually if you play patiently, you get amazing reads and amazing wins, whereas more aggro, you can be read easily.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, see, this is where he can go aggro now, because Sethlon is used to his defense. So now that Sethlon has read his defense, he can go in, be aggro, and throw Sethlon off a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Critter still maintaining this lead. Whoa, trying to go
If
huge.
got that.
Man, if he got that forward smash, I don't even know if it would have been enough to kill.
I don't think it would have, but it would have definitely got him up to 60%,
Yeah.
which with Ike, it can be a kill percent.
It would have sent a message, that's for sure. Forward air from Sethlon. Critter going to be using that side B to get right onto center, but Sethlon has an answer for him as he's getting back from that ledge.
I think Critter, Critter needs to start retreating a little bit, just a little bit, to make Sethlon, because now Sethlon is seeing his flaws and his weaknesses. And what Critter needs to do is keep up what he did in that early part of the game, where he stays on one side and just waits for Sethlon to make a mistake and just capitalize.
I mean, look at the punishments that we've been seeing from Critter for whiffing those up smashes. That's 2 stocks so far. Sethlon at 86%. But if anyone can do this, it's him. All it's going to be for Sethlon is going to be less about making up the percentage and more about making up control of the stage. And he's doing this right now. That down tilt forced Critter into the corner temporarily, but that grab is going to mean some big damage and a world of trouble for Sethlon.
And I think if Sethlon can really be aggro, or not as much aggro, but just more aggro reading, that would be insanely helpful because of the way Critter is playing right now. Critter is,
ooh, that counter, so unexpected, and he actually finally snags him before he's able to catch the ledge. That ether was excellent.
I love seeing that off the edge because a lot of people underestimate that it can actually hit.
The eruption.
It has that down hitbox. And it also has a behind hitbox. So if Critter really wanted to throw somebody off, he could actually turn around, charge it up full smash. The person would come up thinking that they could hit him from behind, and they'd get KO'd almost immediately.
Oh, man. That eruption, man.
So now we're going to FD.
So dirty. So dirty. Really big props to Critter, however, making this happen. And of course, a big part of that, I think, really stemmed from the early game momentum. And Critter, I thought, was going to be able to set some early game momentum up early. And he's able to finally do so. It's at the high enough percentage where off of those grabs, he's going to be getting a lot of forward airs and big options like that. But Critter, something that has changed from game one is he's playing a lot less committal. A lot more jabs that we're seeing from him, and it's paying off really big.
And now we're seeing Critter actually being the aggro on this. And he's actually reading Sethlon pretty well, but what Sethlon needs to do here is just try to, like that, punish those moments where Ike is in his most vulnerable states, or smash attacks. Some tilts even lead to very vulnerable positions for Ike. And so,
Forward air, he didn't have a jump. Wow, that was so good from Sethlon.
And now Sethlon's starting to, I think Sethlon's starting to get a grip.
And this is when Critter's going to be changing his playstyle, and it might actually cost him. Because he was ahead the entirety of that last match, he was playing a lot less committal because he didn't need to use as many decisive options. But I wouldn't be surprised if Critter sees this deficit and is thinking to himself, I need to go ahead and land this F smash now. And Sethlon is going to be waiting for that to happen just so he can put on the punishment. And already, so much damage, 64%, 85 on Critter.
And now they're equal percentages on different stocks. That's what happens whenever you want to get really aggressive, but you don't know the way to do it.
Great jump there from Sethlon. It baited out Critter to go and launch that eruption, but
an
even better spacing on that F tilt. That was excellent from him. Ooh, punishing that roll.
Let's see what happens.
Man, like we said, these bigger characters struggle so much in the corner, but somehow Critter is able to find his way out of it.
I think that might. Oh no. Okay. See, the thing with Roy is that Roy could easily get him out right now, but the way Critter is playing, he's playing so defensively that it's making it hard for Sethlon to get a read off. Yeah, now what Critter needs to do is needs to start adding up these percentages, not too aggro, but getting those reads to where it's not risking his entire stock, because he's at 161 right now.
Yeah, and it's getting closer and closer to the point where that up throw is going to kill. But I think the higher ceiling here might give him a little bit of clemency. That Nair is not being forgiving at all, though.
On to that hope.
Another Nair. Critter.
He's just being punished right now. He needs to mix up his recovery game, because I think that's what Sethlon's seeing, is that he's not recovering any different sort of unique ways. And as a Little Mac player, I can say for myself, if you do not mix up your recoveries, you will get red like a book. It's really bad. You need to mix up your recoveries and just get that percentage off. And we can see Critter's already starting to trying to make the comeback.
This is looking a little bit scary, actually, for Sethlon.
Wow.
This kind of damage
Oh, no.
could mean a
Oh.
lot of punishment.
Oh!
And there's the punishment! Critter somehow brings that back and takes the set over Sethlon.
Oh my god. And
Ugh.
there it is. There it is. The reads with Ike.
Yo, watch the hype cam, man. That was nuts.